Welcome back to Midnight Critic. Midnight Critic. There's two of us. This is
Yep.
Midnight Music.
And this is what, yeah, man, that music.
There you go.
Yep,
I
there you go.
saved it. I saved it. I
Yeah,
saved
yeah, yeah.
it. Today we listened to and reviewed "Take Care"
Deluxe.
by Drake.
Or possibly The Weeknd.
Basically, yeah, Drake was the feature.
We'll see. I mean, The Weeknd has said he's written a lot of this album. And
Came
he is
out
credited on a couple songs, on a lot of songs.
November 15th, 2011.
Yep.
19
We
songs.
knew each other.
We did know each other. Were we friends at this time?
Probably not.
This was pretty close, I
Would've
feel.
been,
We're getting
what,
close.
4th grade?
11.
I was 10. This would've been 5th grade.
5th grade, yeah. No.
No,
Yeah.
I was right. It was 4th grade.
No, it was 5th grade.
I thought I was 9 in 3rd grade. 10, 4th. 11, 5th. Someone behind. 12 freshmen. Nope, 12, 6.
When I came to, okay, now we're doing backstory. When I transferred schools, that was 2010.
Yeah.
And that I transferred in
And I was
as
9.
4th grade.
You transferred in as 4th grade.
This is the second half of the year. This would be 5th grade.
Of 2011. You said you transferred in 2010.
Yes.
So I was 10.
You were, I'm
In
not
5th
arguing
grade.
with you that you were 10 at this
I
time.
was 10 in 5th grade. That's what I was making sure. Because I was thinking, in my brain, I was thinking 11. But I was like, that's just true.
I was 11 at this time.
You were old.
I'm old.
You were a day over, actually.
Yeah. Crazy time.
Yeah, so Take Care, Deluxe.
Take Care Deluxe.
If you don't know Drake, he's Drake.
Yeah, he's Drake. We've already reviewed one of Drake's albums. This one I don't think is going to go as good for Drake, but that's okay.
Okay. Well,
19 songs, hour 23 minutes. 2011 came out November 15th. Underneath Cash Money Records Incorporated. Do you have any background for Drake that you'd like to give, Mr. Corey?
If you want background on Drake, just
introduced you, but you're the other host.
yeah. If you want background on Drake, you just go to our other podcast because I mean it's Drake.
Yeah, we gave, I feel like, more
Megastar. The Weeknd is a part of this album.
A lot.
He's not named a lot, but he's on this album. If you look into who's writing shit, his name appears on several of these. He is a megastar.
You can tell that some of these were clearly written by The Weeknd.
Yeah, The Weeknd is what is. I mean, he's The Weeknd. Like he's not. No one's gonna replace him. You're gonna hear about The Weeknd after he dies, and for generations to come. The Weeknd's that big.
Right.
Same with Drake, but Drake won't be in the same way as The Weeknd. I think The Weeknd will pass over Drake
Eventually.
eventually.
So we start the album with Over My Dead Body.
Yeah, are you gonna tell them about your tier list?
Oh, my tier list. Yes, my
Yeah.
tier list, which is in front of the visual Spotify I guess Spotify and YouTube listeners. We have 4 tiers here. We have no, you shouldn't listen to this at all. One
Word.
time, you should only listen to this one time. Yes, you should listen to this and should probably have it on a playlist. And For Life, which would be you can listen to this years and years and years down the line
Yep.
and still get just as much out of it and basically love it just as much.
Yep.
Maybe for a different reason too.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, we can start off with Over My Dead Body.
Yeah. I like it.
I like it. I
It was-
don't love it.
It was a good intro to start the album off with. It's different from his music nowadays, where it wasn't trying to be like hard or in your face. It was just kind of, let me bring you in here, let me get you introduced, keeping the vibes right. The vibes are right to this album.
Classic Drake at this time.
Yeah, vibes are solid. Yeah, I like it.
This
I mean,
is
it was
Drake with
nice.
his melodies.
Yeah, yes, it's Drake with his melodies. It moved smooth. It was
written
great.
by The Weeknd. So it makes sense that it's with his melodies.
Allegedly, most of this probably.
Most of this, I would almost bet.
Probably. But I mean, I don't know. Because, see, now we got to get into our skewing thing. Because there are lots of artists that don't write their own shit. So what are we doing here? Because, I mean, the music here is, it is good. I think some songs on here, he's going to lose points for not writing it. Because some of them are just clearly another artist.
Oh, yeah.
But when it's Drake's sound that he's known for, even though he's not the one writing it, but it's still his sound, I can't be mad at it because I'm like that's his sound, whether he wrote the lyrics or not. That is his sound. That's his melodies. That's how he moves through it. Nobody else is performing it. It's him. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna run into that. We're gonna run into that issue eventually. There are plenty of other artists that have writers that help them make stuff.
That's like saying,
I mean, it's his sound.
oh, this game copy and pasted the same mechanics off of this other massively popular game, or soon to be massively popular game, right? But it's its own graphics. It's its own, it looks different. But the mechanics are the same.
You play Skier Ritual.
Okay.
Same mechanics as Call of Duty.
Yes, I would agree. Skier Ritual is a Drake.
But you still like Skier Ritual.
Not as much as I like Call of Duty.
Doesn't matter.
There's a clear distinction.
Yeah,
Call of Duty is
you
unique
still like
because it made it.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know the debate on this because I feel like it's still like, look, nobody else has performed it. Nobody else is making these songs big. They're big because Drake performed them, right? Because you can't because I mean, Rihanna too. Rihanna doesn't write her own shit. I don't even think Beyonce writes her own shit.
Okay, but the thing is about them is that
same with Michael Jackson.
They have vocal range. They have the fucking
and
ability.
He's got the skill and the delivery for it.
That's not the same.
I don't know. I mean, it is. It's a performing art in a way.
I think you and me could perform some of these songs in our own way, and I think it'd sound not terribly too far off of what these sound like. Especially if we had the actual money and backing that this guy has.
I don't know. And I also think he is credited as a writer on lots of songs, which could mean he just gave one word suggestion, but it could also mean he was still a part of the process very heavily. Because he doesn't have to solo write all of the songs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still, even if you help a little bit, you can still get the writer's credit. So the other people could have helped him a little bit. Now, that being said, I have heard that The Weeknd has said that he's written most of this album, which is very evident and true for some of these songs.
You can tell.
But still, that being said, it's like, I mean, this is Drake, and this is only his second album, so he probably was still working. Like, he was probably still putting in the work for this album because he hadn't made it yet.
Yeah.
So he's probably still putting in work for this album. I think it's too much to discount him as not being a huge part of this album just because he didn't write all these songs, because he is listed as a writer for most of these.
We also do have one Kendrick feature on the album.
We do.
Which I do have a comment on, like I mentioned to you earlier, but that's fine. But yeah, Over My Dead Body will be Over My Dead Body if it goes anywhere higher than Yes. So
that's
where it sits.
I like that one. So let's go to Shot For Me, because this one, as soon as it started, I think he said 2 words, and I said, "This is The Weeknd."
Yes.
And it is The Weeknd. Drake is for some reason the one delivering it. It's The Weeknd song.
Drake's delivery, yeah.
Yeah, it was not even. It's not Drake's delivery. It's The Weeknd's delivery with The Weeknd's lyrics, which is how I knew it was The Weeknd.
Right.
He delivered it just like how The Weeknd delivers his old shit and some of his new shit. Same with the melody and the flow of it and the music behind it. I knew it was Weeknd. I went to the credits and looked and saw Abel Tesfaye.
Yeah.
But I knew it was him before I even had to look. I turned to Thomas and said, "This is The Weeknd song," and then went and pulled it up because I knew it was him.
Absolutely.
Why? And it's disappointing. It is honestly disappointing because it shouldn't be in this album because it is just very clearly The Weeknd. This was around a period where they weren't giving The Weeknd all the chances he deserved to get big. He was kind of hiding. He was kind of forced into Drake's shadow, into helping him with this album and doing a good portion of work with this album. And that's just a real bummer that is The Weeknd song. I just know that The Weeknd wrote that completely, made everything for it, and Drake got to perform it. And that what makes it suck.
Yep. And for me, it ends up in one time because of that.
I would honestly say don't listen to it. If it's not performed by The Weeknd, do not listen to that song.
That's fair.
That's fucked. It's very clearly just The Weeknd song.
That's fair.
That's where I leave it at.
We then go on to Headlines.
Yep. It's my favorite Drake song.
Yeah, it's by far one of the best Drake songs that I can think of, even to date.
Yeah, even today. Yeah.
It goes in for life. It'll be there. It's a good song.
This one's good. He wrote this one. This one's solid.
He did. We then have, what's the next one?
Crew Love.
Crew Love,
which is featuring The Weeknd.
Which is featuring The Weeknd.
Which is nice because
I like the recognition.
Weeknd performs on this one.
Yeah.
He performs on one later on. Doesn't get credited. But
Crew Love for me goes above Over My Dead Body. It's once again very smooth sounding, very melodic in its sound, and very just overall good.
Yeah. Headlines and Crew Love are both on Corey's list. Crew Love is very good. One complaint I do have about the song, I do really enjoy it. The beat in it is way too harsh.
Yeah.
But it is very good. That being said, I do still like it. It reminds me of Old Weekend, Old Weekend.
Yeah. We then go to Take Care with Rihanna.
Yep. I don't know if she wrote this because I don't know her real name. I didn't see her in there.
I don't know her real name. Is.
Probably didn't. Drake. I don't know. I think this is a song that Drake did write. I think this is a thing that he did actually write. I think people know this is about him. And I like
That's the issue.
It goes to Corey's
is
list.
Once it's other people are writing for him, is it really him writing? Like it's then you're having to fight that like whole line of like where does it sit? Where
I think with the crediting act, that does help. Is that like he gets that people are now getting credit for the shit that they wrote.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if there's one or two names up there, he's getting top billing. I would assume he probably wrote it. It's not the case for all the songs that he has top billing for. But this one, I think he did.
Shot for Me definitely doesn't have top billing, or he has top billing in that.
And yeah, which is great because he didn't write it or perform it.
Take Care, I have right on line with Crew Love. I'm gonna set it right below Crew Love, and yes, good song.
Really, you wouldn't listen to that forever?
No,
I like that song.
It's got a good Rihanna feature. It's got a good Rihanna feature, but like, I just don't see it.
That's one of Drake's biggest songs.
I know.
It's fire.
I know. It's a good song.
It's a good song.
I just don't love it. So, yeah. We then go on to Marvin's Room.
Yep.
Which I enjoyed, but felt like it went on quite some time, which it did. 5:47.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just a little long for me. I put it below Over My Dead Body. It's in yes though.
Fair. I do quite enjoy Marvin's Room. One thing I will say about this album is this is a long ass album. Hour 23. But with that being said, I never at one point felt like this is going on for too long, which is interesting because a lot of our longer albums that we listen to, at a certain point, I'm like, why are we doing this? This is too long. I never ran into that with this album. It was just kind of always like, okay, we're going to our natural conclusion. Like we're naturally getting there.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like Marvin's Room.
Yeah, Marvin's Room's not bad. I enjoyed it quite a bit. We then go to Buried Alive Interlude with Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
I have this. Now, this interlude is how long?
It was like 2-something minutes, wasn't it?
2 minutes, 30 seconds, yeah. It's kind of like a longer interlude. Yeah, I was going to say it's more of an actual song. I think they marked it as an interlude because there's no Drake.
Yeah.
It's solely Kendrick Lamar just doing his thing. Now, that being said, I have heard in the past that every time that Drake's kind of had Kendrick feature on a song or do that kind of thing, that he basically is a little more controlling of how Kendrick can kind of get out his words in the sense of like in this song, and it's very
his flow is very different in this song.
Very different.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of obvious.
Definitely tell.
So it's a little sad to see that Kendrick's not performing like himself.
But he was still good.
I don't think that hurt him necessarily.
It doesn't.
Still really good.
You can't hurt a goat once it's been a goat. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So Buried Alive Interlude I put at the very top of yes, above Crew Love even. And it actually is reaching into For Life. I've kind of been going back and forth debating on if it should be or shouldn't be. I think it's going to sit just below Life though. And yes. We then go on to Underground Kings.
UGK.
Which
Underground Kings. It was alright. It wasn't like
it's not bad. It's just not good.
This album's in such a weird place for me because nothing on it I was ever at any point like this is terrible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wasn't exceptionally great. But that's also hard considering all the things I've heard since this album's come out. But it was still like, yeah, it was fine. Like it was good. I wouldn't be mad if it was playing.
I wouldn't be mad if it was playing, but I'm not searching for the song.
Yeah.
And that's the issue.
Well, that's fair.
So for me, Underground Kings, and especially like a name like that, I feel like it should have more to it.
I was expecting some drill rapping.
Something, yeah. Underground Kings for me, though, goes at the very bottom of yes.
Yurt.
We then go to We'll Be Fine.
Featuring Birdman.
And it's, I like it.
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty good, honestly.
Good song.
It was good. Nice flow. Birdman. I don't think I've heard Birdman before. Came on there pretty strong.
Yeah.
Liked him.
Absolutely. I put it right below Buried Alive, but above Crew Love. And yes. Oh. We then go on to I lost my place.
Make Me Proud.
Make Me Proud.
Featuring Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj.
And yeah, it's good.
I would disagree in a sense. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
I don't know. I might have a soft spot in my heart for Nicki Minaj.
I think you do. And
She's
that's
great.
okay.
I mean,
is
she's
good.
great. When she gets on, she gets on.
The issue is that the feature can't carry the song into a higher state. The feature can only support the song and maybe boost the song
I mean,
a little
look,
bit.
like that, it's a good song, but Kendrick Lamar's feature definitely carried that song.
I would agree. But
Definitely elevated it for many
that's a
people.
very rare scenario. It's kind of like Control,
Sure.
which you can barely even find that song out there
I
anymore.
don't know what that is.
Control, oh, it's a Big Sean song,
I don't listen to Big
but it's got Kendrick on there.
Sean.
And it was about basically all these guys kind of like, it was basically like a huge rap battle that they were doing, but they were doing it between each other. And it had like Jay Electron on it and a bunch of stuff like that. And basically they were like just talking a bunch of shit. And then Kendrick gets on and it fucking makes the other two on the album, other 2 or 3 people on the album, seem like their like lyrics were absolute fucking dog shit. And they weren't. They were okay. And Kendrick gets on and just murders the shit out of them and bodies the shit out of everybody else. He's like, fuck y'all, come at me, I'll take all y'all. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I'll see if I can find Control. I want you actually to listen to Control. Good. You can't find it on Spotify though. Like Big Sean's doing his damnedest to take it down everywhere
I figured.
because it's propping up Kendrick. You know, you don't fuck with that. But anyways, we were talking about Make Me Proud.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's good. I have it below Underground Kings. I don't love it. I wouldn't go searching for it personally. That's just me. We then go on to
Lord Knows.
Lord Knows.
Rickety
featuring
Ross.
Rick Ross. Rick Ross has the intro in the beginning with doing his thing, but he doesn't have like the iconic intro. I don't know if that was around yet though.
What is Rick Ross's iconic intro?
He has an iconic intro. I know it when I think
It'd be crazy if he said, "We the best music."
No.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. Like I said, I don't hate any of the songs on this album, but this one was just okay. In the back of the Maybach, it says "Payback for those who hated on me." That's a 50 Cent.
Anyways. So yeah, Rick Ross is on this. I find it better than Underground Kings, but not as good as Marvin's Room, and I think that's fine because Marvin's Room I actually do like a lot. I would actually go searching for Marvin's Room.
Marvin's
don't
Room
know
is
if
pretty
I'd
good.
search for this. This is
Lord Knows. I don't think I'd come back to.
yeah.
I didn't hate it, but at the same time, it wasn't anything.
And it's
Crazy.
slotted into yes. I
Yeah.
think this is gonna be the most yeses that I have.
It's very, like it's not a bad album.
It's
That's
not a
that's
bad
a good
album.
thing. Like it's not a bad album.
But it's
It's
not
definitely
a stellar
worth a
album either.
listen.
And there's 19 songs. So I think it's gonna take that prize.
It's
but I
definitely
didn't
worth a
know
listen.
That was a thing. We then go into Cameras, Good Ones, Go, Interlude, Melody, I think.
You're gonna want to click on it. Can you tell me who's the writer on this? Because I couldn't remember if Fool the Weekend was part of this one.
Give me a second.
But this is the song that we can hear the Weekend on.
Written by nobody, apparently. There's just a dash where written by is.
Interesting. I like the song.
Let me double check.
I would check, but if I do, it's gonna start playing from the speaker.
No. Yeah, it doesn't say. So this song I actually do like. It's kind of on
No, I found it.
par. Huh?
It is. It's written by Drake, Tyler Williams, Anthony Palma. Oh no, that's the wrong song I just clicked on. Excuse me in my fucking brain.
Okay, you're excused. While he's doing that,
Yeah, I don't know who wrote that.
I have it on par with Marvin's Room.
Maybe it was
But just
freestyle.
below. I doubt it.
I'm trying to think back to the lyrics of it. It could have been freestyle.
This
Just
is a
in there with the
long song,
melodies and just
too.
kind of going through
This
it.
is a 7-minute
Yeah,
song.
but there were parts of it where he wasn't talking.
Once again, why do we have a 7-minute interlude?
And there were parts where The Weeknd was. Is this the song where The Weeknd was doing background vocals? There's a fucking one.
I
There's
think
a song
so.
in here where The Weeknd's
I
doing
think
background
so.
vocals. I think it's one. Yeah, so maybe he was just jamming to the beat and added in when he could. I don't know.
I don't know.
I do like this one though. I didn't hate it. I wasn't mad at it.
For me, it's below Marvin's Room, but it's good. Then we have Doing It Wrong. Correct?
Yeah.
And I felt like he was definitely doing it wrong. I put it in
That's
one
fair.
time.
That's fair.
Now, I did put it below Shot for Me.
Shout for Me is not a Drake song. It's the Weeknd song. I don't even want to count it in my fucking review of this because it's just
Well,
not
it's too
his
bad.
song.
It's a Drake song. So you have
It's
to
just,
count.
It's just crazy.
You have to count that Drake
It's-
stole a masterpiece
It is
of what The Weeknd made.
It's borderline illegal.
It
It's crazy that it's just the Weeknd.
It is so clearly The Weeknd. So, oh well. Yeah,
The
Doing
Weeknd
It
says
Wrong
that he didn't make that song.
one time.
I would be shocked.
Yeah, sure.
I would be surprised.
Yeah, right.
'cause he
I wouldn't believe
definitely-
him. I think he lied.
You think he lied?
We then go on to The Real Her, featuring Lil Wayne and Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Um,
First time that Wayne pops up on this album, and he kind of helps carry the rest of the album.
yeah, I like it a decent amount.
I like the features on it.
I do too.
I like it when Wayne comes in and does Wayne.
I'm gonna put it above Lord Knows. I think. Yep. But it's not gonna go above Camera's Good Ones Go and Marvin's Room. So it's still a yes, and that's fine. We then go on to
Look what you've done.
Look What You've Done, which I really liked
I like it too.
a lot.
Yeah.
I put it in for life.
Oh, okay.
I liked that
Okay.
song. I was
Okay.
jamming. I was balling. I
Okay.
think it'll stick with me.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It's one of those where it's just it's something about it really kind of tickles my eardrum just the right way.
Okay.
Yeah. We then go on to Hell Yeah, Fucking
Hell
Right.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking right. Fucking right. Fucking right. All right. Yeah, it's great. Absolute banger. You sit there, you jam, bro. It's just, that's a vibe song, bro. You just bang your head. You're just like, yeah, just chilling. It's a great driving song, honestly. You drive to that, you just chill, relax, have your fucking time, man. If you smoke a little weed, you can have a little weed. I'm not promoting it. If it's legal where you're at, you're welcome to have it. I don't know. It's what I imagine you get up to when you're on drugs. To listening to. It's pretty good though. I ain't gonna lie. It's always a vibe. Every time I hear it, I'm like, yep. The eyes glaze over a little bit. The eyelids drop a little low.
That's why
It's
you
on
kept going
Corey's
down in
list.
zombies.
Yeah, that's why I kept dying. That's exactly why I kept dying.
Totally.
It's yeah, it's on Corey's list. It's great. I like it.
I'm putting it below Buried Alive on yes.
That is the most criminal thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I do see the flavor of it, and I do understand your point of view. I don't love it.
That's the craziest thing I've heard in my life.
It
You
feels repetitive.
he says the hook 2 times. Everything else is
It feels like he says it like
completely
50
different.
times.
like 2 times. There's
Like
2
50.
sets of the hook.
Like 50. And that's okay.
Crazy. So you're not gonna like the motto because I'll tell you what, he says the motto a whole lot more.
Oh, yeah. We then go on to Practice,
Yeah.
which Practice is, I wish a practice for another song. It's
Damn.
okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it necessarily, but it's just okay. It's once again, these are all Drake songs, so and this is old Drake. This is melody Drake. So like it's just you're just kind of jamming through it.
Drake's still kind of melody Drake.
Not now. Not
Yeah.
now.
Just had a hard time.
Not now.
Been getting abused by a man.
As he should. He picked a fight with the bigger man.
He did. Well,
Well, with
Typically
a
not bigger
smaller
man.
man, but
with a better man.
with a better man.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes it's like that saying, it's not about the dog and the fight, but it's about the fight and the dog. And he did not have that fight.
He didn't because he released music not
That
that long ago. 3
I
songs.
I didn't know of.
Yeah, I listened to him.
I'm not a big Drake guy, but like
I think one of them had a little sneak diss, but I didn't want to call him on it because he doesn't need any more problems, right? Because if it was an actual sneak diss and he gets found out, it's just crazy. Like he's just
Kendrick's gonna come back around.
he's just
with,
yeah he's
they
just
don't
crazy.
like us.
Yeah, no, he's gonna just drop a
remix.
whole album because he
A
probably has
remix.
one
He's gonna
saved.
get everybody that Drake's dissed on a remix of They Don't Like Us. That'd be fucking.
It's been a few
fun.
months since the feud, so he's if he starts some shit up again, Kendrick's just probably gonna just drop an album that has a bunch of disses in it.
Just turn around with his fucking backhand.
You could call it the Drake
Okay.
tapes. You could go in on him.
What?
Go practice.
Yeah, practice
Yeah.
goes in above Make Me Proud.
Yep.
But otherwise, it's in yes. I understand. I don't love it, but I understand. We then go on to The Ride.
Which was a ride.
A little bumpy ride, but it's all right. It sits above practice. Nothing spectacular there, but it's good.
Fair.
We then go on to the motto.
Yep.
And as Corey said, they say the motto a lot. And for that reason, guess what? It's at the very bottom of one time. It's fucking lazy.
That's crazy.
Fucking lazy.
Crazy.
For a 3-minute song.
Were you the person who didn't like What's Goody?
I don't remember.
I think you were the one that didn't like What's Goody.
It's possible.
And I didn't know this about you. I like it because it's a form of rapping to where you're using like a set to bounce off of and go different directions, but always coming back to that to ground it back into it, which isn't a terrible practice at all. I think if every song you ever made was like that, you would not be famous. But every now and again where you're exercising that skill of bouncing off that to then change the rhyme up to something else, it's technical and it is great. And I mean, you get Lil Wayne in there.
I do have a push-up
Awesome.
yes. I do understand it. I do understand why people would like
Pretty
it.
good. It's on Corey's list.
But
I can't say I let it play every
wouldn't.
time, but
I wouldn't listen to it.
it's fine. And it's brief. It's not that long, is
3
it?
minutes.
Yeah. Got its nice bass and its beats. Music and all this is actually great.
You
I
know
don't
what
have a
would
problem
take?
with any of the beats and shit.
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, final thoughts.
Yeah. The beats on all this is great. It's definitely care was put into this album. You could tell
Now,
it.
was the care from Drake or
pretty
from The
good.
Weeknd? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Well, The Weeknd's probably had a good part of this, but also Drake put in work on this. I can't sit here and pretend like I don't think Drake put in work on this because I think he probably did put in work on this. And he's a composer on one of these songs. I can't remember which one it was, but he was a composer on one of these. And yeah, I think they're all solid. My final thoughts.
Other than a few. Okay. Let's get on to ratings. I don't have any final thoughts really, other than what you said. I agree with most. So, what is your final thoughts? Or sorry, not final thoughts. What is your rating?
I think it is a solid. I mean, it is good, right? Like, I do quite enjoy it. I would actually, I can confidently sit here and say I would listen to it again. I wasn't pissed
You'd
off.
listen to that whole album again.
Yeah, I wasn't pissed off. I was like, this is fine. I'm not mad at this. I could see like a road trip. I could see me popping this up and listening to the entire thing in its entirety. Like, I wasn't pissed off. I wasn't mad about it. I think it's a solid 7.8 Drakes out of 10 K Lamars.
I see. I would say I'm gonna give a solid. I'm gonna give a solid 5.8.
Somewhere in the world, Phoenix just stubbed his toe. He absolutely just stubbed his
7.8?
toe. I did. Actually, I said 7 point. Did I say 7.8 or did I say 7.9?
You said 7.8.
Okay, I said 7.8.
That's a Midnight Music score of 6.8. for Take Care by Drake.
Yep. And The Weeknd.
You know what? We were talking about like
By Drake and The Weeknd.
Yeah, by Drake and The Weeknd and Drake. We were talking about like short songs. The shortest song on here was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
You know what would take less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
What? What would take less than 2 minutes 30 seconds, Thomas?
To hit the subscribe button
Really?
and like and share.
Shouldn't they have done that at the top of the video when they saw that thing that said to do that? Maybe.
That's definitely not on this video.
Definitely not on this video. Cold.
Um,
Shouldn't they have done that at the top of the video though? When they clicked play on the video, they probably should have went down and just subscribed without me saying anything.
Ideally, but like I'm not gonna press them about it
You're
because
gonna
they didn't do
press.
it at the beginning.
So you're getting, look,
I'm
you're
gonna
not
press them
getting
about
pressed
it
right
now,
now.
though.
Okay, you're getting pressed right now.
Like they need to do it right now.
Yeah. So go ahead and exit full screen. Scroll down a little bit. Click that red subscribe button.
Mhm.
When it turns white with
It's
that
gray.
or gray, it depends on if you have it on dark mode or not.
If you have it on light mode,
Whenever
don't
it
subscribe.
changes,
I don't want you subscribed if you have it on light mode.
whenever it changes,
You're a fucking demon.
You're weird. Yeah. Whenever it changes, that's how you know to subscribe. But then you know what else you could do? You could click that little bell icon. You can set that to all. You can set it to personalized, or you can set it to none. You don't
True.
want notifications. You don't want notifications, but we'll pop up in your feed.
And sometimes
You
you'll
can
be
have
like,
that.
"Oh, I haven't listened to that album yet, but like, I want to know a little bit about it."
Yeah, we have a back catalog. By the time you hear this, you'll have a huge
This
back
is-
catalog.
This is probably the end of November if this stays in
Yeah,
order,
unless this is the Thanksgiving episode, in which it's gobble 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 gobble.
or the Halloween episode.
Woo! This is one of those. It's one of those. You guys have that special treat on you.
It's not the Christmas episode.
It's
I
not the
can guarantee
Christmas episode. When we get to the Christmas episode, you'll hear something.
that. I don't know what
You'll-
it'll be, but you'll hear
You'll
something.
hear a noise when we get to the Christmas episode. But yeah, so you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna go to Spotify, right? We
Yeah.
got stuff on Spotify. What do
We
we,
got-
what
we
do you
got
do on Spotify when you find us on Spotify? Is there a button you should click?
There is. I believe it's follow.
It's the follow button.
It's the follow button.
Click the follow button.
And then also, you should probably like listen to some of the episodes because we don't even just do episodes only about music. We do some about movies too.
We
And
do.
it'll be like a combined movie. So like we'll have like one that's like about Inside Out,
yeah.
and then one that's about the Equalizer, which
Yeah.
you'll find a very funny part where Thomas, the host of that episode, doesn't remember what the second one
It's
is.
crazy because he picked it out.
I said the Examiner at first, and then I said the Executioner.
He said the Executioner, which was insane.
Yeah. Keywords.
I should do that. And then we have some social media out there.
We do. I think we're on Twitter/X.
We are on there.
We're also on that one that's bought by Facebook, but we're not on Facebook.
Yeah, we're on Instagram.
That's true. Yeah.
And there's a third one out there that exists.
Oh, that's right. That's right. With all the Gen Alphas.
Yes, Gen Alphas. It is called TikTok.
Yeah.
You probably go over there. If you type in the Midnight Critics anywhere, we're actually liable to show up.
Sometimes it's not the Midnight Critics. Sometimes it's the Midnight Critic or Midnight Critic
Yeah,
because of character lengths but everything. But like
we'll still
you'll
probably
find
pop
us, and we have the same kind of logo in all of our things, I believe.
up across the board.
So
Across the board, we have the same
Ideally,
logo.
ideally, you should just be looking for that logo, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's it."
Yeah,
Follow.
across the board. And eventually, I will figure out links to it all and put it somewhere where you guys can find it.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy. And maybe someday there'll be a Discord.
There might be a Discord one day. I
But
will not be in charge
You
of
never know. I know.
it. I refuse to.
I know. I'd probably have to be the one that's in charge.
One
of
day
it.
there might be a Reddit too, and I will not be in charge of that one either.
Phoenix
I
can have that.
refuse to. With that being said, did you guys leave a comment? It's weird that you heard us talk all this time and you didn't leave a comment.
You could have. You could have left a comment saying "shut the fuck up." And
You
you
could
know,
have.
fair enough.
I'll respond to that actually.
I will-
Usually,
I
if you
will.
put in "shut the fuck up," I will respond to it.
I will also respond.
I don't
to
know
it.
what I'll say, but I'll respond to it.
Yeah.
And I won't even respond to it under the Midnight Critics. I respond to it under my
under your
regular-
personal account.
under my
That's good.
regular YouTube account.
Yeah. But anyways, why would you want to leave a comment? Well, because maybe you want to hear an album that we haven't done yet, or
Mm.
maybe you want to hear our review of a movie that we've not done yet, or maybe you want to see different content other than the movie podcast and the music podcast, and you're like, oh, I'd really want to see some IRL stuff, some gaming stuff, some gameplay stuff, that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Let us know, or any
Mm.
other comment or any other type of thing that we could do that I've not
Yes.
mentioned so far. Let us
Anything.
know.
I'll do it. Maybe, unless it's spider related.
I'm also gonna remind them that if you send in 1,000 song playlist, that Corey has said that he will listen to it and he will review it.
Thank you. That's very kind of you reminding them in this episode, weeks after that other episode.
Well, we did it in a couple.
Unless this is the Halloween episode, in which case.
Ooh. All right. Well, have a wonderful day and a better good night.
Good night.